95 different public health programs, and I'll have some handouts at specific times, and you can take a look at those. So every county health department has at least some programs that are very basic to public health. So there's a cooperative relationship that has developed between the Northwestern chapter of the Health Occupation Students of America, Future Health Professionals, and Medical Reserve Corps Unit 1181. Now, HOSA Future Health Professionals is a new chapter dedicated to helping STEM students venture straight into the many dimensions of public health, epidemiology, environmental health, community health, healthcare, biomedicine, and beyond. So there's no Medical Reserve Corps here in Wayne County. So the Ashland County City MRC has partnered with this HOSA FHP chapter to enhance opportunities for students going into these fields. Partnership involves the MRC helping the local HOSA chapter prepare for the state competition, which is coming up at the University of Toledo in mid-April. Now, members of HOSA have the opportunity to be full-fledged members of the Medical Reserve Corps. The Medical Reserve Corps has a twofold mission, and that is to prepare to assist pre-identified Ashland County agencies in the deployment of critical resources when there's an adverse event of public health significance. And those can be very numerous. In times of non-emergency, we promote the health education objectives of the U.S. Surgeon General and also provide depth to fulfilling the strategic goals of the health department. So what I'm going to do is show today how STEM is integrated with business and government. And one of the things that I want to make sure that you distinguish today is the difference between healthcare and public health. So as you know, on the news, national news, you hear about healthcare and the Affordable Care Act and changes with healthcare. Public health is not healthcare. Public health focuses on disease control and prevention. So as I said, I've worked in this field for 27 years and worked in nearly all environmental health programs and currently work in different aspects of public health. So to just illustrate a few programs here that I've worked in within environmental health science, I made a concept plan that may or may not have been illustrated before, which could involve all Northwestern students. Now, one of the fundamental principles of life in this country is that you need capital to make capital. So in this illustration, you will become part of a group. You want to increase money you have set aside for your future education and increase that over a relatively short period of time. So ordinarily, most persons do not have much money to make an investment. But if you break down an investment into very small pieces, more people can participate. So together, you'll form a limited liability company. So it is, if you look at the company name and you find incorporated or something after that company's name, you would form a limited liability company, and that's about the safest way to go. So you form a limited liability to come up with $1 million, which would be, you would think, well, that is impossible. But for example, if you would find a business that is willing to go halvesies, and it contributes $500,000, and 200 students contribute $2,500. That's today's example. In this concept, we will look at the property immediately to the east of the high school. So the property is farmland. And again, this is just a concept and not intended to bring attention to the actual person or family that lives there. All of this information is accessible via the web, and this information comes from both the Wayne County Auditor's Office and the Tax Map Office. This page illustrates that the property is currently held in trust. acronym called CAUV, which is Current Agricultural Use Value. Now, this value is taxed less than the residential value. How many of you are in FFA? Okay, very good. And how many of you are good at soils identification? Okay, good, excellent. Then at least some of my talk should be right up your alley. As we can see, the land in the house with the private water and sewage system and outbuildings residentially comes to almost $400,000, and the auditor's office makes a downward adjustment in its value for agricultural use. So, for example, let's say you named it the Northwestern Group. Now, a representative approaches the owner of 9806 Salem Road, offers $450,000 for 54 acres of land and the house, which would be 1.7 times the adjusted CAU total value because it's a school project, and they agree to the sale. So the concept is for you to form the Northwestern Group, approach the owner, and ask him or her or them to sell the property to the group for that amount of money. That's just an example. And you could actually make this work, so all the numbers are adjustable. Now, why is this property worth buying? Well, people love schools. You're helping, you yourselves are helping to run an arts, education, sports, and recreation complex. This property presents easy access to the interstate for families to get to their jobs. So the Northwestern Group is going to take 54 acres, make a subdivision out of it, build a road, breaking it into 27 lots, each 2 acres in size. So you would want to go from $37,000 per lot, which would be your cost as the Northwestern Group, to $55,000 per lot, which includes all investor profit. So that would be making that 50% profit on your money. This is the information gathered online about this property. To gather the topo information about the property, I go online to the CAMA database on the county auditor's webpage. And there I can see the topo overlaying on the pictometry map. What I do when I get something like this for my purpose, so I make sure I don't make a mistake, I draw in the drainage pattern. So basically, pretty much that, as you look at the property between the plowed section and the green part, the drainage way pretty much comes right down where the road would be. Although it's much easier for me to work directly from the Wayne County Soil Survey aerial photos, I can use the acre value website and see the same type of soil type overlay. Looking more carefully at the overlay, I see that for individual private sewage treatment systems, the Canfield and Ravenna soils are good, and the only challenge may be the ore-filled silt-loam soil. As many of you have had experience that in soil identification, the top layers would be suitable for on-site sewage treatment systems. So as an environmental health specialist, it is critical that the access to any water system is at least 1 foot above any 100-year floodplain, and based on this picture, there are no floodplains in the area. Also, as an environmental health specialist, I must know if there are any setbacks involved from oil and gas wells and tanks, and basically there are none affecting this property. Also, I've got to be familiar with the aquifers in whatever part of the state I work in, and in this county there's nothing remarkable to note. As geology STEM students know, the Mississippian and Pennsylvanian geologic systems influence what the soils and aquifers will be, what the soil, the water and sewage treatment systems there will be. Now, for a closer look at groundwater for the property, specialists such as myself and well drillers use the groundwater resources map in Wayne County. And this one shows yields anywhere from 10 to 100 gallons per minute. On the flip side, it's important that both EH specialists and well drillers are familiar with the groundwater pollution potential map. And in this case, the property falls in the medium blue area, which means that the area has a low vulnerability to being contaminated. And one of the primary factors is the nature of the soils. Now, to be on the safe side, it's good for an EH specialist and well drillers to look more carefully at a few individual well logs in the area. Again, this log is from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources with test results indicating at least 15 gallons per minute, nearly 12 grains per gallon of hardness, 25 parts per million of iron, pH of 7.4, and a commingling of aquifers from sandstone and shale. So I've already sat down and looked at those. Now, those of you with geology STEM backgrounds are used to knowing what is meant by the static water level, that being the highest point of the water table at rest, and the drawdown during the pumping test to arrive at the gallons per minute. So I also looked at the well log from Northwestern Elementary, and it shows another commingling of aquifers and a test rate of 50 gallons per minute. Now, it used to be where you couldn't do that, you couldn't commingle two aquifers, but in this case, this was permitted. So there's obviously some well logs for Northwestern High School, and they're taking a real close look at that one. One aquifer was closed off by the well casing 35 feet. The two aquifers are next to 95 and 126 feet. Ohio Administrative Code, which is the rules that enables in a semi-public water system, it enables two aquifers to be combined. When that's done, it's very important that the aquifers stay free of contamination, because contamination can more easily spread. And so the water is plentiful, the swells are suitable for private sewage treatment systems as well as road and culvert installation. Since Chester Township is not zoned, no one in the township needs to follow the Wayne County Comprehensive Plan. As a result, there's freedom design. So that plan dictates a building setback adjacent to a working farm as well as a 25-foot wide buffer. There are fees involved. So if we were zoned right here, then there would be the payment of fees for following those zoning restrictions. As for the road construction, I definitely follow the civil engineering guidance on residential road construction that comes with that plan. So the road costs about $100 per foot times 3,100 feet of road, and you could gain some cash by sale of unneeded topsoil. Electric, natural gas, telecom along the roadway, they each have their own costs, and they would total roughly about $121,000. So the total major cost at this point would be $450,005 through 10 for the road, $121,000 for utilities, leaving $119,000 for the engineer, surveyor, flow professional, excavator, title company, and health department site evaluations, and the cost of an ice cream cone. The trick is in the sequencing, and I've seen this done many times. So you look at the water and sewage system performance and the replacement area first for the existing house. Location determines how a corner split will occur. So basically, some people who don't have a lot of money, they mark the 4 corner lots out second, and then have the health department site evaluations performed on them, and they get them approved. So you would sell each of the 4 lots for $58,000, roughly $58,000 a piece, and that gives you another $220,000 additional breathing space. So your break-even point is 14 vacant lots sold plus the existing house on its own subdivision lot. From there, you have money to rotate, spend, grade, grow, utilities, and plat until all 27 lots are sold. And this I've seen done numerous times. So the health department comes in for 4 lots for evaluations, ensuring all is well with the water system, sewage system with the existing house, and then 22 lot evaluations for the major subdivision. So as each lot is sold, each general contractor who will then own each lot will engage others to go to the health department for private sewage and private water, sewage, and plumbing permits. Now, as an environmental health specialist, illustrating 3 of the 12 to 14 areas of environmental health in the health department, what other stuff do I need to know? So, some of you in FFA already know how to determine the soil texture for the first 4 feet of soil on any given lot. So is the soil texture truly silt loam, silty clay loam, or is it silty clay? As well as being able to determine is the soil structure, what the soil structure is, what glacial tilt looks like, where the vertical fractures are in glacial tilt, where seasonal high water table may be. Are the redox features in the soil relevant or not? Now, an EH specialist would also need to know all the different designs of sewage treatment systems, how to read topo maps, measure things according to scale, make sure systems are appropriately sized and drawn. So, I use the same engineering specs that are used for water pumps. Some of you live on lots that have got wells, and so basically the same rules apply for water pumps as they do for sewage treatment pumps. I personally would keep a very close eye out for compaction. A number of lots have been rendered unbuildable because the contractor ran over the ground when the soil was wet or moist. I understand what my colleagues are doing at the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and understand what their rules and policies are, and there can be differences. Also, as an EH specialist, I direct persons who need funds to fix their systems, and I direct them to various grants and loan programs. I know engineering principles behind determining friction head, static lift, and know how to determine total dynamic head. I learned how to digest different sewage and water systems and to determine malfunction and proper function. I understand the differences between anaerobic and aerobic wastewater treatment systems and how they function and malfunction. And I learned how semi-public sewage treatment systems are to work. Also understanding the soil, air, and structural conditions under which concrete fails. And I literally stood over a tank and been doing an inspection, and a week later, the whole tank top collapsed. So I didn't know my life was at risk. I understand what conditions are needed for toxic algae to bloom. As if you follow the news, there are cases of water contamination, surface water contamination due to toxic algae. Learn how to use a laser transit and retrieve and reverse measurements. I know the principles of cable tool, water well drilling, principles of rotary well drilling, and so those are distinctly different. Rotary well drilling works very fast, can actually blow through aquifers, and mistakes can be made. It's much faster than cable tool. Understand the different bioslimes that survive and thrive in sewage systems as well as water systems. Know how pumps are installed and removed from water systems. Learn how to recognize defects in sewage, water, and plumbing systems. Construction using a downhole camera. And learn old and new techniques. Now this is an old technique for finding a location to drill a well called water witching. It's roughly 50% accurate. And I have actually done that. It's amazing how Environmental health specialists may learn as many as 75 major statutes, laws, rules, and policy. And it's part of that learning is learning how to apply them correctly. The third and final aspect of the subdivision development presentation has to do with indoor air quality. I've got one slide on this, I believe, and that is radon. This particular zip code, there have been a total of 154 tests done in this area, and basically this is rated an area that's relatively high in radon. So radon gas can vary in concentration from house to house. So if you take a test at your house, that doesn't mean that you're going to get the same type of result at your neighbor's house. So it's easy for builders to build radon-resistant new construction than to try to retrofit dwellings in a project like this. So at this point, you've got some handouts, and from what you've seen so far, are there any questions? As an environmental health specialist, you have to be willing to move. I mean, there are not a lot, and I want to say also environmental health specialists are also known as sanitarians in the state of Ohio. So one of the things about finding a job is sometimes looking in places where other people do not look. So if Health Department advertises for a sanitarian, nobody really knows what that is. The closest thing to that they think of a sanitarian is garbage collector. So they immediately throw that aside and keep going. And because of that undesirable word, you may have the opportunity to get into a health department in a profession in this particular aspect, and work your way around into other aspects for which you have a handout. So in Ohio, I'm known as a registered sanitarian, so I have my registration with Ohio. I also have taken tests, passed the national test, and have the experience in continuing education to be a registered environmental health specialist. So if I wanted to move to Utah, they're known as environmental health scientists. So it depends, varies from state to state.